Ominous. Hello there, friends, and welcome to my playthrough of Final Fantasy VI. One of my personal favorite RPGs of all time, and one seen in high regard by many across the world as well. This game is full to the brim with personality, engaging characters, and wonderful music. And if this title screen scroll didn't give it away already, we're in for one crazy story as we begin this awesome game together. But let's not dawdle on that and get to a more, boring title screen. So just white background here. But something that isn't boring here is we have some extras and options. We also have new game, but we're not going to touch on that just yet. I'm going to be saying that a lot throughout this series. Let's go ahead and start with the options menu. We have configuration and license. We're not going to worry about license, we're going to go to configuration. So, something that I want to go ahead and talk about right now is the font style. In the Pixel Remaster versions of these games, the font style was a point of contention. I'll just say that much for the PC version, but thankfully the console version of this game gives you the option to go to a classic style without having to mod the game. And that'll be the version that I play on, is using the classic font. I have nothing really against the modern font style, but just for the sake of its style, I'll be going with the classic version. In terms of the BGM, I'll be keeping it on the Pixel Remaster arrangement version, though I might switch it to classic every now and then because there are pieces of music that I find more interesting or better in the classic version than I do the arrangement. Brightness, we're not going to mess with. Master volume, nope, this is all good. Control settings. This is all based on the Nintendo Switch version of the Pixel Remaster. So if there's any inputs that are shown on screen, that'll be the version that is shown. The Pixel Remaster Nintendo Switch version. Changes saved, awesome. Let's go to the extras. We have the music player in the gallery. We also have the bestiary, but because we haven't even started the game yet, obviously we don't have anything there. We're not going to worry about that. And instead, let's go ahead and begin the game. One last thing, though. If you are not familiar with Final Fantasy, do not be afraid of this number. You do not need to have 5 games worth of information to understand this game. This game is fully standalone, and you can enjoy it all the same. The Ancient War of the Magi. When its flames at last receded, only the charred husk of a world remained. Even the power of magic was lost. In the 1,000 years that followed, iron, gunpowder, and steam engines took the place of magic, and life slowly returned to the barren land. Yet there now stands one who would reawaken the magic of ages past, and use its dread power as a means by which to conquer all the world. Could anyone truly be foolish enough to repeat that mistake? There's the city. Hard to believe Vesper's been found frozen there 1,000 years after the War of the Magi. Bah! Probably just another wild goose chase. I don't know. They wouldn't have let us use her unless they were confident the intel was good. Ah, yes. Our witch. I hear she fried 50 of our Magitech armored soldiers in 3 minutes. Kinda makes your skin crawl, don't it? Relax. With that thing on her head, she's a mindless puppet. The girl won't even breathe unless we tell her to. We'll approach from the east. Move out. I just want to say one more time, for good measure, welcome to my playthrough of Final Fantasy VI. We're in for one wild ride together. The girl takes point, and don't waste time on the riffraff. Remember what we're here for. Let's move. Oh, such a cool cinematic. Alright, here's our controls. Again, Nintendo Switch controls. So if that's a problem, and you need to translate, like, Xbox controls to Nintendo Switch, then go ahead and do that. But before we can move out, as Wedge said, we have more configurations to go over, as now we're actually in the game. I'm not gonna go into all of these immediately, but I want to go ahead and make special attention to battle mode, battle speed, and battle messages. Battle mode, wait. Whenever you are issuing combat directions in combat, the enemies will wait for you to finish issuing those before they attack you. But if you switch to active, then enemies will attack as soon as their ATB bar is filled up, and they will go without you finishing your menus. The active combat is more based on quick thinking and reaction time versus wait, which is definitely more turn-based strategy focused. For this playthrough, I think I'll be on active battles, as I think it makes for more interesting fights, and also, it's a little different from what I normally do. I normally do wait with super fast battle speed, but I think I'm going to go with active. Battle speed, pretty self-explanatory. Normal combat speed in this game can be a little slow, so I think I am, not very fast, but I think I am going to put this on fast, just so combat feels, you know, reactive and fast, and we can get through it pretty quickly. Battle messages, I'm going to put on fast. I don't think they need to be on very fast, but I'm going to be reading fairly quickly, and I want to make sure combat goes smoothly. Cursor memory, I'm going to go ahead and have that on, but I'm not going to go into that just yet. And I think everything else we're going to go ahead and keep the way it is. Okay, not enough, no more dawdling, let's go ahead and move out. Imperial Magitech armor, not even Narsh is safe anymore. And our first battle. This is turn-based combat, and we see there's a little bar in the bottom right that fills up. That is our ATB bar that allows us to issue actions to our party members. We're using Magitech armor, which means we have a bunch of special elemental beams. There are elemental weaknesses in this game, so make sure to figure out enemies' weaknesses. Our unknown friend here has a lot more actions than Biggs and Wedge do, though. We got a level up here for EXP. We also get Gil, which is this game's version of currency. Every battle will give us EXP and Gil, with minor exceptions. Stop them for Narsh! And it'll be important to fight as many battles as we can to get as much EXP and Gil as possible. We also have the magic button here, but we're not going to worry about that. Let's go ahead and use Bio Blast. And then we'll use Ice Beam. We haven't seen Ice Beam yet. I'm going to see if I can get through all of these attacks before a certain point, because we've got a lot of them to cover. We took down your hounds. You guys think you can take us? Alright, let's see here. What else we got? We've got Confuser. That sounds cool. We also got the Healing Force here. Who's not looking good? We'll heal our unknown friend here. And then we'll shoot a Thunder Beam up their butt. Oh, they're attacking each other. That's what Confuser does. We'll leave Banisher for the next fight. Fire Beam. These guys aren't standing a chance. They're only doing 3 damage to them. We're doing hundreds. 96 skill right there. Not bad. Alright, let's keep moving up. We can't interact with any of these buildings, it looks like. Everyone's kind of shut us in, which, I mean, looking at the size of our armor, I doubt we'd fit through the door anyways. We've got them trapped now! So this is a unique gimmick to Final Fantasy VI that a lot of other Final Fantasies don't have. They have pincer battles. Now, sometimes you'll be the one doing the pincer, but in this case, we're the ones being attacked. Let's go ahead and use Banisher on this guy right here. Pincer attacks, really what they do is, if you are completely surrounded, then you are unable to flee encounters. And that is a big problem, as enemies can kind of get a bunch of attacks off of you without you being able to run away or react in time. Hey, level up. Nice. And so, honestly, it's rather best for you to pincer the enemies, as it gives you a big advantage against them, rather than pincering you, as it could very easily spell out a game over if you aren't careful. Defend the mines! Oh, they're bringing out the big boys, see. We've got Megalodoth. Ooh, intimidating. I wonder if setting fire to them is the best way to do this. Do note, no Megalodoths were actually injured in the filming of this video. Let's go ahead and set fire to another one. Man, they're definitely ripping into our armor now. We're taking a lot of hits. But that healing force heals a lot. Unfortunately, we can't use healing force outside of combat, which is a little unfortunate, so I'm trying to heal as much as I can while in combat. And let's see here, let's just throw more fire beams. There's a few more buttons that our unknown friend here has, but I'm gonna leave them for a little bit later. Okay, we got a lot of stuff there. The amount of EXP and gil you get out of combat is actually based on enemy formations rather than the amount of enemies. According to our source, some miners unearthed the frozen Esper in a new shaft they were digging. This must be it. Oh, going into the mines, I see. Okay, Narsh Mines. Ooh, hello, you're sparkly. Strange light fills the air. Do you want to learn about save points? Sure, why not? At save points, you can use tents and sleeping bags, and also save the game. You can also use the save and quick save functions anywhere on the overworld map. Well, we haven't gotten there yet, but hey, we can save now if we want. Let's go ahead and do that. This game does support autosaves, which is fine, but we're going to be relying mostly on the multiple save files that we have access to, which we have 20. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Awesome. Alright, let's get a move on. We can't dawdle, we're on a mission. Ooh. Hey, a fight! A rare rats. These are special enemies. Every single time we encounter a new enemy and take them down, we get them added to our bestiary that we saw in the main menu. That is going to be a big thing that I focus on, as the bestiary is a very important piece of this game, and there's actually some really interesting things regarding the bestiary that you can do, especially in the Pixel remasters. So I want to go ahead and get as many enemies on there as I can. Let's see here. There are a few more enemies in this area, but we're not going to worry about them just yet. I'll handle this. Stand back. We're not handing over the Esper. Ymir, get them! Hello? Hold it! That thing's they must have trained it to guard the mines. What are you talking about? You know what this is? Ever heard of the lightning whelk? It's a monster that absorbs lightning and stores the energy in its shell. Right. So whatever you do, don't attack the shell. Got it. This is Ymir the Lightning Whelk. This is our first instance of a boss. We have two targets here, the shell and the slug thing itself. We want to target the slug, as if we try to attack anything that isn't it, we will get a counter. Every now and then, he's going to retreat back into his shell, and if we attack the shell accidentally, we get Mega Volt, which is going to do a lot of damage. Took down Biggs there. That's not good. Unfortunately, we don't have any way of reviving him just yet, so we're going to have to worry about this. One last thing to go over, Magitech Missile. Now, there's slime right there that Ymir used. That slows down the ATB charge of a certain character, which is now both of them. I'm going to be playing this safe, as we are on fast ATB, which means that Ymir is going to be able to hide back into his shell quite often, so we're going to try and avoid this as much as possible. We're just going to wait it out and wait for him to come back in, as Magitech Missile is our best way of dealing with this boss, as it does so much damage. As you can see there. There's slime. We can get one more attack off before he hides, probably. Come on, Wedge. Do some decent damage. 172. Nice. He's probably going to hide. Yep, grok. Yep, he's going back into his shell. We can just wait this out. We have magic here, but again, I'm not going to worry about that just yet. I'm going to wait it out. Wait for this slime boy to come back out of his shell. I know you want to do it. I know you want to do it. Come on. Come on. There we are. Okay, there we go. Let's go ahead and prep all of our moves. This also shows that bosses aren't just HP sponges in this game. Most of them have their own unique gimmicks that you need to learn and figure out how to play around. And that'll make most encounters in this game quite unique. This is just a nice little taste of it. No EXP or gil for this fight, though. Though we got a high potion and an ether for our trouble. Alright, let's move forward. So, this is the Frozen Esper. This thing's giving me the creeps. Something's not right. frozen creature begins emitting an eerie light. Where's that light coming from? Ah! What was that? Wedge? Wedge, where are you? Hey, what's going on? Where am I? My, and I only just removed the crown. My head hurts. Easy there. This is a slave crown. The others were using it to control you. It was robbing you of your thoughts, making it so you do whatever they told you. I can't remember a thing. Don't worry, it'll all come back to you. In time, that is. A mysterious young woman born with the gift of magic and enslaved by the Gestalian Empire. Her name is Terra. In this game, you can change the names of every single main character in this game. And while I would be very tempted to name every single character John, just for the fun of it, I think for this playthrough, I'm going to be sticking with every main character's real name. So, this young woman is Terra. My name is Terra. Impressive! I've never heard of anyone recovering so fast. You must be made of tougher stuff than most. Open up! We're here for the Magitech armor pilot. Open this door right now! Hand over that girl! She's an agent of the Empire. Empire? Magitech armor? There's no time to explain. You need to get out of here. These fools aren't gonna listen to reason. This way, quickly. I'm going to disobey you, good sir, and walk over here. On this clock right here, we've obtained an elixir that fully heals your HP and MP. For some reason, there's a weird trend with this game and clocks hiding elixirs. Make your way out of town through the mines. I'll try to buy you some time. Thank you. Alright, let's head out. With the B button, we can sprint. We didn't make it very far, did we? Up there! Okay. Alright, I guess we need to pick up the pace here. Come on, Terra, let's go. Alrighty. Whee! We can really zoom. There's a rare rat again. We got a back attack right here. That means our ATB starts at the very 0%, and we're also sent to the opposite row of when we started. I haven't gotten into that function yet, but that's information right there. We're gonna go ahead and use some magic and cast some fire. That does a lot of damage to these enemies, but it does cost MP to use. So be careful, as MP is a limited resource that you'll need to recharge. Let's go ahead and look at Terra's gear real quick. She has the mithril knife, buckler, leather cap, leather armor, relics, which we haven't got into yet. We haven't even seen any. Let's go ahead and, now that I'm talking about formation, so there's front row and then there's back row. Front row means that your physical attacks are going to do more damage. However, you'll take more physical damage. If you're in the back row, it's the opposite. Physical attacks do less, but you'll take less physical damage. I think in general, I'll be keeping Terra in the back row as she's going to be a magic user, and magic damage is not changed at all based on where you are. There's another save point here if we need it, but I don't think I do, so let's go ahead and move forward. In fact, we don't really want to save as we've got guards on our butts. We've got a Spritzer and a Bandit, two new enemies here. Let's go ahead and just cast Fire. This is going to be the main way we deal with enemies with Terra, as Fire is very powerful and will deal with these enemies without any problem. Got a level up for her as well. Nice. And a potion. Let's go ahead and grab this treasure chest. Phoenix down. I guess those who are working on the mines just decided to leave their stuff in treasure chests. Who knows? There's a sleeping bag right there. We can use those as tents. We learned of that. Spritzer again. That's okay. If we already know what we want to do, we can just click the auto battle button. Battle will speed up slightly, and we'll just go ahead and use our previously used action. That'll be the main way we go through combat whenever I've already seen enemies before, or we're just kind of going through the motions, you know? There she is! My sweet little magic user. With this slave crown, you'll be all mine. Good, good. Burn them all to a crisp. Soldiers of the Empire, we stand at the dawn of a new age. The lost power of magic has returned to us. We have been chosen. The time has come for us to claim our rightful dominion over the world. Nothing shall stand in our way. Hurrah! Long live Emperor Gestal! Took you long enough? Busy with all the robbing and plundering, I presume? A treasure hunter and trail-worn traveler searching the world for relics of the past. His name is Locke. And while I'd be very tempted to name him John, we're gonna go with Locke. I prefer the term treasure hunting. Semantic nonsense. There's a huge difference. Anyway, is there something you need me to do? There is indeed. I met the girl. What? Girl? You don't mean... The city guard is pursuing her as we speak. This city has the strength to stand up to the Empire, but it won't use it. The people are just too stubbornly independent to join an underground resistance group like the Returners. I tried to explain that to the Empire was controlling the girl, but they wouldn't even listen. Alright, so you want me to get her out of Narsh? That would be the idea. Make your way to Figaro for the time being. There she is! Wonderful. There's a whole bunch of them. Lupo. Noogles, are you saying you want to help? Lupo. Use us to protect Terra from the guards. Would you like an explanation? Please. You'll fight using 3 different parties. Press the ZL button to switch between them. Defeat the leader of the guards before his troops reach Terra, or the battle's lost. So this is a primary gimmick of Final Fantasy VI. Because of how many party members there are in this game, we get multiple parties to control at once, at multiple different times throughout the game. So let's go ahead and look at Party 1 with Locke, Moglin, Margret, and Moggy. Locke is an adventurer, and he has a dagger, leather cap, leather armor. We've got a mithril spear user, a morning star user. Ooh, flails hurt, man. And mithril claws. This party's looking good. Swap to another party, set them out. We're looking with Mog, Malulu, Moghan, and Moguel. Moguel? Moguel. I'm gonna go with Moguel. Mithril Spear, Mithril Shield. Actually, we can control this, so I might steal that later. Chain Flail, Buckler, Mithril Sword, Moonring Blade. Moonring Blade is a type of weapon that actually can be used from the back, and its physical attacks will not be affected whatsoever. So we can do that. And we've got our final party right here with Mogsy, Mogwin, Mugmug, and Cosmog. I knew Pokemon got an inspiration somewhere. So, Mogsy, Chocobo Brush, Mithril Spear, Mithril Sword, and the Boomerang. Let's go ahead and get Cosmog at the back row there, just to minimize damage. And as we can see, we've got multiple enemies coming from different angles. So we need to set up our party to hold the line on every single front so that we can fight them all without any of them escaping to Terra. Megalodoth and a Silver Lobo. Alright, Team Mogsy, we're just going to go ahead and auto-battle here, as they don't really have anything unique other than just traditional attacks. Things hurt quite a bit here, so we need to be pretty careful. We're going to have to spread out our forces thin in order to not overwhelm ourselves with how much damage they're throwing at these Moogles. They're fairly frail, so we're going to have these guys back up a little bit. We're going to have Team Locke go ahead and go on their first fight. Locke does have a unique ability in the form of Steel, however, I'm not going to be worrying about that with these just regular goons here. So we're just going to be trying to attack normally here. Moglin with their first miss of the game. That's not good. That's alright, though. Get some decent EXP. I'm going to try and avoid using Locke in any of the party fights, as I want him to deal with the big boss at the end here. We're going to have Team Mog go ahead and deal with these guys. Make sure Team Mog actually does fight at least one group of enemies, so Mog can learn a dance, Twilight Requiem. We're not going to worry about that just yet, but I just want to go ahead and point that out for completionist's sake, if you were worrying about that. Let's go ahead and have Mog take down one or two more, as Team Mog is quite strong. Especially thanks to Mog himself, who is using that Mithril Spear to just rip and tear through enemies. Let's go ahead and have maybe our other team of Moogles. We're going to have to circle around, as we can't walk through Locke. Have you guys fight. Alright, Team Mogsy, let's go. I love how all of the Moogle names are Mog something, even if it's not Mog's not the first thing in the naming convention. I just love that. Moogles are an iconic piece of Final Fantasy, the Final Fantasy franchise, I guess, in total. And this game is definitely something that helped their reputation. And man, I love the Moogles so much. They're such a cute, mascot character. And they're also very dangerous, as we can see. They're using flails and spears to just completely destroy these guys. There we go. But now that I think the threat outside of the captain is out of the way, looks like it, yep. We're gonna go into the menu here, and sorry Mog, I'm gonna have to remove your gear. I'm gonna take that from you, thank you. Mostly so I can go over to Team Locke and give him a Mithril Shield. There we go. Because we can remove Mog's gear and no other Moogles, we can just go ahead and take his stuff and give it to Locke if we want to. And here we go! Guard Leader and 2 Silver Lobos. While the Moogles deal with the Lobos, I'm going to try and steal something from the Guard Leader. That ability we just saw right there actually is pretty annoying, as it makes it to where the ATB fully stops and our character cannot do any actions. We couldn't steal from the Guard, so we're going to just try again. And until we get it, we're just going to have the Moogles defend. Unfortunately, Mogret is kind of in a bit of a bind here, as they literally cannot... Okay, there we go. As they literally cannot use their ATB bar. There's Charge on Locke. It's okay, it did decent damage, but we'll be okay. Now that we've stolen the Mithril Knife, we can just go ahead and go on the offense here. There's Charge on Mogret. Damn. It's alright. This guy doesn't have too much HP, so we should be okay. We're just gonna try and very safe. Ooh, the critical hit! Oh, let's go, Moglin, the MVP. My potion. Thanks, Moogles. We're in your debt. This switch oughta... back with us now. You saved me? Save your thanks for the Muggles. I can't remember a thing. It's like my mind's trapped in a fog. You lost your memory? A man said it would come back, eventually. So, you've got amnesia. Don't worry, I won't leave your side until your memory returns. I'm not gonna just up and abandon someone because they lost their memory. I'll keep you safe, I promise. The chest fist bump is a sign of trust. And we've made it out of Narsh with Locke and Terra in tow. Whew, I guess this is a decent place to stop for today. Next time on Final Fantasy VI, it's insane to be saying that now, we'll be making our way to Figaro, I think he said, and seeing what happens there. So, with that said, I'll see you soon.